Phil is a very modest guy. He's worked with me for many years. But many of you don't know that he was actively involved as a union organizer, played an important role in working with the nurses to organize the nurses union and with the teachers at UVM to organize that union as well. Phil, thank you very much. Look, I don't know that I have a whole lot to add from the great remarks that you've heard from so many people, but this is what I do want to say, spending a little bit of time in Washington, D.C. And that is that right now, there is a war being waged against working families in Vermont and throughout this country. It is a class war, and the wrong class is winning. And what you heard today is the need for people to come together to stand up to the billionaire class and tell them loudly and clearly that this country belongs to all of us and not just a handful of billionaires. Let me tell you what's going on right now, because the words that I'm using advisedly. Right now, you have families like the Koch brothers who are worth $80 billion. $80 billion. But apparently for them, $80 billion is not enough. And as a result of the disastrous Supreme Court decision on Citizens United, they are now spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars trying to elect candidates who represent the wealthy and the powerful. Our job is to pass a constitutional amendment overturning Citizens United. Billionaires should not be able to buy elections, and then we've got to move toward public funding of elections all over this country. Now, all of you know, and we've heard it today, the struggles of the nurses, of the teachers, of the bus drivers, of the healthcare workers. This is what's going on all over America. The middle class is disappearing. People are working longer hours for lower wages. We have more people today living in poverty in America now than at any time in the history of this country. And while the middle class declines, there is another reality. And that is that the people on top have never done so well. And our job is to say, enough is enough. You can't have it all. We've got to grow the middle class, ask the wealthy and powerful to stop paying their fair share of taxes. You have heard a number of people talking about the health care crisis. Today, despite the modest gains of the Affordable Care Act, 40 million Americans continue to have no health insurance, and even more are underinsured or have to pay large copayments. The United States, led by the state of Vermont, must join the rest of the industrialized world and move toward a universal Medicare for all, single-payer program. Healthcare is a right for all people. Today in America, real unemployment is not 6.1%. That's the official unemployment. Real unemployment is 12%. Youth unemployment is 20%. And we've heard discussion of Ferguson, Missouri. What you should all know is that African American youth unemployment is 35%. 35%. What we need is a massive federal jobs program, rebuilding our infrastructure, transforming our energy system, and putting millions of people back to work. I just returned from North Carolina, South Carolina, and Mississippi. And what I saw there and the people I met with are folks who are working in fast food restaurants. They are making $7.25 an hour, and many of them can't even get 40 hours a week. We need to raise the minimum wage to a living wage. Nobody in this country should be working 40 hours a week and living in poverty. So here is the bottom line. The wealthiest people who are doing phenomenally well are not satisfied. They want more and more and more, and their greed is almost unimaginable. Can you imagine people worth billions funding candidates who are prepared to cut Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and children's programs? So our position is very clear. End the greed. Let us create a nation that works for all people. Let us have a vision that says all of our people will have health care as a right, decent paying jobs. We're going to reverse climate change, transform our energy system, and move toward a society and a government where every person in this country lives in dignity. Thank you all very much.